All right, we are live. We are live. We are live. So, Coach C, were you able to find the live on the page?
Well, let me. I tried your the crowd, the poetry, art, and music. That was the light. That's what came up.
Yes, we're live on that page as well. I'll say refresh it and try to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Find us on Facebook. We're here.
Piff, you just went live on CryOut Cave or on your page?
Oh no, I'm not, oh, you want me to go live on CryOut as well?
No. I was saying that announcement you just made. Do it on your page.
On my Piffy.
Yeah, do it on your gram. Tag CryOut Cave so we can repost it so people can know to come join us on YouTube and Facebook. I see 3 people already joining us right now. I wish I knew where you were. Leave a comment. Leave some hearts. Because I'm on StreamYard right now. I can't see y'all. I'll be in my office in a little bit. I'll be sitting down in front of a computer and we'll be able to read the comments. But definitely show some love. We got some things to talk about. We got Coach C in the building. I like that shirt. What did it say? Assets? Come on.
Assets over liabilities, baby.
Period.
Okay.
Hey, we going there. Let's go.
Man. You already started. You brought a shirt to start a conversation.
Yeah, listen. How we start today off, right? Real simply. If you playing now, you're gonna pay later.
Ooh. Okay.
Hey, you playing now. Go ahead and be everybody fly and all that, this, that, and the other. Wait till when Biden open up them borders for about a certain amount of millions of immigrants to come over here, and it's gonna further put us down the lower pole.
Man, it's funny. It's funny that you're wearing that because I actually was in a conversation with one of my friends who's a real estate agent just yesterday.
Okay.
Just around that same topic. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the CryOut Cave, but we are in a season right now where we're doing some Operation CryOut, which is a fundraiser for us to own our own property in the next 3 years. So we're raising funds because we've been functioning as a poetry organization, creating platforms for people of different colors, but primarily brown and black communities to have a voice, to have a platform for them to perform and do different things of that nature. For the last, I'll say the organization has been around for about 8 years. We've been hosting shows for 10 years, and we went into opening a venue 2.5 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Which, due to the pandemic, we had to, close down the venue. And some of it also because the landlord wanted to do something else with the property. So we decided that we were just going to position to be the landlord in the next space that we go to.
Correct.
So so definitely the conversation that I had with my friend was really surrounding about properties that will be more of an asset rather than a liability. And she educated me a lot. Just because in my mind, I just wanted us to have a building for us, but then she started talking about the benefits of us going into a building that was a multi-use property. And how that could definitely stabilize the organization even more. And talked about how that's much more important. And she also talked about how we could do other things like provide space, living space for artists, things of that nature. And that got me even more excited about the topic. So yes, assets and liabilities,
assets over
liabilities. Is what we're talking about right now. So anybody, Kendi, thank you. I see you checking in. Anybody that's here right now, drop some hearts. Let us know that you're here. We want to see your comments. We want to see your comments. We see you in the building, Kendi.
Hey, Kendi.
Hey, Kendi, how are you, sis?
So yes. So as African Americans, as Black people, whenever we making moves, we need to think of making moves that's assets over liabilities.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Because we've been, it's funny. We've been on we had it twisted. So we've had it twisted for all so long, and we thought that with the liabilities, that would only really give birth to the exterior part of you to make you feel good, right? But we started finding out that Louis and all these families that and most of everything that we attribute our feel good to is from other European families, right?
Right.
So you got Louis, you got Nike, you got all these families that we go crazy to wear to give us an external push or an external feeling, and totally forget that by us continuing to purchase and drink the Henny and all these and all those families are benefiting well, but not even so much more that, more so than the fact that we find ourselves with way more liabilities than assets.
Yeah.
This was just a word that unfortunately we had, when we had the Black Wall Street, when we had Mansa Musa, who still to this day is the richest man to ever walk the face of the earth, worth $400 billion, who laughs at a come up, my man from Amazon, Jeff Bezos.
Right.
He's a come up to what Mansa Musa already had did 4 times that. So
he had done that.
Right now, 4 times the size of Amazon, and it already existed and happened already. And at the helm of that was somebody who looked like you and I, all of us on this line. So let's not get it twisted any further, and get the equation right. That's the only thing that's going to close the wealth gap in our community and even in our families. Is ownership, key ownership.
I'm glad you're definitely sharing that. I mean, as an organization, again, we want to be pioneers in artistry, but we also understand what you just talked about, which is, the wealth gap and closing that. Let's talk about why it's important to close that. Let's talk about what wealth could definitely do for us. I mean, I know people assume that they know what that means, pretty much. Like, how does closing that wealth gap benefit us as an organization?
Well, you talking about you guys?
Just the Black community.
Oh man, of course, man. First off, when you go to the doctor, a lot of those the high blood pressure, a lot of that stuff is always removed off the radar because you ain't stressing.
Hey
yo, imagine going through life and you're not stressing, and you had early disciplines, and then ended up marrying the right person who had the same synergy, and so with both of y'all together, we're not having those conversations based on. Now we knew that the struggle was a part of our parents' upbringing, and by the grace of God, they instilled enough in us. However, when we begin to look at the total layout of having assets or being able to have control of not hearing decline anymore, or or being told that you're not worthy, or your credit score is not high enough, or this thing. We come from a 500 credit score community. I know I do, coming out of North Carolina, but not only North Carolina. I was born really in North Carolina, but coming out of the South Bronx for 30 plus years. I know what a 500 credit score community looked like.
Right.
And I was a part of that world. And I tell you, hand over fist, that it was probably some of the best mentally preparing me to become financially disciplined later on.
Yeah.
So because of those early disciplines, and because of marrying the right person, because of being over so grateful and fearing God to the next level, and helping people and giving. And so if we can't learn to leverage our relationships amongst one another, right, then we have nothing,
Yeah.
And so when I'm talking about closing that wealth gap, that brings on a whole new dynamic of being able to know that your kids, man, won't start off in the struggle you started off in,
Exactly.
Grandkids come in, they already know where the pantry is. They right by me. Right by me. I got 6, 7 grands now. They run right by me, yo. They know where the snacks are. They know that there's something there. And so for me, knowing that what my mom and my dad did, and we talk about that at some point too, but just what my mom was instilling in me, but that hustle and that grit and that grind, but it just made so much sense that she just kept saying to me that she said, don't worry, son. The day will come where you would be able to look down at your past and say that it don't reflect your future. And now I'm looking at my grandkids and what I'm able to do for them, my wife and I, and people in my community and other kids and stuff. Yo, and I get it now. I'm just like, yo, that had we not had, and I blew bread. When I look at these two hands, often a lot of times what we forget to do too, we forget to kiss our own selves. So there's times when I'm just kissing because I know what came through these hands and I know what went through these hands. But then guess what? I know now what went through these hands. I now know how to keep what comes through these hands on my side of the equation and not just give it away.
Exactly, yeah.
And so we got to work on a better outlook and a better outcome of just making this money and giving it away, going to the malls, blowing the bag. We get the bag. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about what that bag looks like. Physically, it's nothing for, to go on in regards to, what we need to do as the people. So I'm hoping that we get a chance to chime in on all that. I bought some good notes. But I don't even need them. I'm locked in because I'm tired of. Here's my thing. I am tired of, and I need to be direct. I am tired of seeing Black people come in last every single time. Every time they move the finish line, we get right there. We come up with a solution. We come up with a strategy. And we mastered one of their strategies or learned a new loophole. And then what happens? The finish line is moved. And so with that being said, that can't continue to happen more. And I think one of my mentees, man, that I love dearly, aka a nephew, Keith Durrell, has a clothing line out called, the acronym is SLAB. The SLAB means right? And so a lot of times too, we go out and we making moves, but a lot of times quiet is kept, you gotta kind of be silent about the moves you make. And that's sad.
Can you say the acronym again? I had an echo. Say the acronym.
Yeah, the acronym, Keith Jarrell came out with a clothing line. It's still out. He's getting ready to launch it again, and it's called, the acronyms is SLAB, SLAB. And SLAB means stay low and build. And so there should always be something cooking up. It should always be, you got an idea. I just went on the record the other day, just came up out of my head out of nowhere. Brother GODsent, I love that name too, bro. You don't have a clue how GODsent you are right now. So I came up and thought about something that's going to alarm a lot of people, where I'm going on the record right now to say men can be pregnant also.
You're going to have
to okay.
So you're like, okay. I love that. That's what I like. I like
because my wife want to hear this part. We just had a newborn about a week ago. So she like, I mean, you know what? She always talking about, I wish you could go through this, brother. I wish you could go through this. So tell us, come on, talk to us now.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Well, we're going through this as a people, right? Male and female. We're all pregnant with an idea. We're all pregnant. We all got a gift. We're all pregnant with an idea. When are we going to give birth to it? When are we going to give birth to the gift that lies in us that we constantly find the greatest altitude to put that gift in the land of excuses and not act on it. Yo, so we're all walking around here pregnant. And for most of those men who you don't see pregnant, they gave birth to their gift. They are now living in what they gave birth to and what they brought to this world. And we can't get mad at folks that's in business that's doing well. We can't get mad at different communities that are coming in and have a blueprint to what, you know, folks shut us out on. We knew that we were being shut out. The last thing I always thought about in America was there's nobody coming to save us. There's nobody coming. Please don't look for no man, politician, entrepreneur, anyone to come rescue us. That's going to come from what we birthed up out of us. Mm-hmm. And we all are gifted, yo. I'm telling you. We come from a land of inventors. And I can go into that as well. I got some information on that. And we can talk about business and all that. But let's get it, yo.
Yeah, I respect that perspective.
Just start this conversation off because I don't know who the listeners are out there, but I feel bad because I know that there's some people stuck right now.
Yeah, that really
there's some people stuck, and the answer lies right in that mirror.
Yeah.
The answer lies with you just finding and spending some time with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The answer lies with you betting on yourself. Yo, we don't even bet on ourselves no more. Yo, we forgot about us. Yo, it's funny. Your first line of business is you. Wow, your first line of business.
Poetry.
I get teary talking about this, yo.
Mars.
First line of business is you. What are you going to do for your family? Or do you want to find yourself with your family outside the restaurant with a can or a cup in your hand, or you want to be inside dining?
Right.
It all comes at what you're telling yourself on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. What are you lending your good heart to? What are you caught up in? Does social media have you in such a grip that you don't realize that the effect is not happening to you right now, but it's going to happen to you in 5 to 10 years with a remix of COVID in it? Right. You're going to have COVID, and then you're going to have a remix of depression. And it all happened from what you're looking at today. We got to get it right, yo.
You know what? I want to take a.
We're working on saving some lives today. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I want to, you know, some of these comments are powerful. You know, pretty much. We got D Skits in the house. He said definitely assets over liabilities. Yes. Patrice is in the building. She said everyone is pregnant with a purpose. She was on the money. On the money.
Before you even said it.
You got it, baby.
She connected right there with you. Yeah. And Dita Skid says, knowing what we know now, what current efforts have you seen that create opportunities for our people to work together towards economic advancement?
Yay, listen. So here's the deal. That question in the nutshell, it's not happening right now.
People don't want to. Ooh, ouch.
So you have groups and cities operating, but no one is giving up the true secret source.
Right, exactly.
The true secret source is, you ready for this? And it's for everybody that's out there. The true secret source is, do not find yourself being a public success and a private failure.
Okay.
So you out in the open, you popping, you this, you that, and that, and then I come home and I'm cussing my wife out, throwing stuff around, don't want to listen to nothing she got to say. Information is pouring in this way and that way, and I'm like, yo, to hell with this people, to hell with my family. No, it's not the case.
Yeah.
But that effort, right? That effort is going to come in us giving birth to our idea. So one of the many streams, right? Because I believe in, and I love going, and I'm answering this sister or brother's question, right? So I love going to see water flow, right? And so I'm looking at different streams, water meeting at different points, and they're streaming, but they're turning into what is either going to create a huge river or an ocean or something. And so we are in the process right now of learning how to create streams. And I think what happens is we get caught up with the amount of what we want to make in order to feel like we have a life of dignity, pride, and financially free, right? So you got people say, y'all want to be a millionaire because that's what we heard. I'm hearing a lot more lately. More people are interested in worrying about a stack. If I can make $1,000 a week or $1,000 a month extra as a drip, then, and so I get that. So I'm there with you. You can create a $50 or $100 drip, and that can make the difference in your whole life. And remember, that's still something that is impregnated in you that you have not given birth to, and that can make a difference in your family and your structure. Right? So I love streams. So people will tell you that know me, that one thing, and you took my stay low and build, I work with youth. I work with kids, yo. Yo, it's so dope that I was able to create with my partner a business that this morning we put together a proposal for a contract that was out of this world, right? The beauty of it is when I shared some of the pictures to show the clients we've dealt with thus far in the last 2 years, and just about every picture, I could not even share the picture with that one youth in the picture up there installed on a ladder. Yo, wiring up a power box, installing the camera.
That's dope, right? Coach. That's dope.
Driving the vehicle.
Yeah, that's dope.
And so you're talking about taking 7 young souls off the street, but not even off the street, but taking them out, saving them from themselves, assisting by creating an opportunity. That was the question that was asked on creating an opportunity. And don't feel bad telling a young person, yo, listen, I could just give you minimum wage at this point, but I can also give you an opportunity. I can also make sure that your time that you are pulling away from the joystick, right?
Yeah.
Are you pulling away from the blunt? Are you pulling away from the mile? Are you pulling away from the streets of your set and all that, and giving you an opportunity to know what it feels like and what it looks like to spend your time with worthiness, right? And so you talking about coming together, or that question with posing, creating these drips for our community. It has to happen, but please don't look at it in the form of, well, I'm trying to, or I'm this, that, and the other. The 3 words, I always use the word try. And I tell people, this is the only 3 letters I've ever known that's stopping us as a people. TRY.
Mm-hmm.
Because all try means is a glorified attempt at doing absolutely nothing.
Yo, Coach says that all the time, and it sticks with me every time.
No. Try just mean a glorified attempt at doing absolutely nothing. Because you can put the effort out, but guess what? If it don't work, I try. No. And so to the answer to that question, that it's not happening right now as often, but there's pockets of people pooling their resources and making some things happen. But here's the deal. The deal is, and I posted this the other day, and I got it from a good brother that's down out of Jay-Z's camp, right? And he had posted something along the lines that said that you are not aware of the person that's coming to help you or help you out, and you have no clue who this person or this group of people, right? But at the same time, if you've done right by more than enough people, then guess what? Somebody's gonna come back knocking at your door to come back and say, you know what? You helped me, you looked out for me, and as a result, boom. So the business that I'm creating and the other businesses that I've created, it's all been driven by hiring young, intellectual, sexy minds, informing them that, yo, listen, before you start talking, let's get this in writing, yo, because I don't want you to share your intellectual property with me out the gate, because I want you to start getting used to, if I'm having you do this and legalizing what comes out of your mouth, then you should be doing that every time you're around.
Standard, exactly.
Having what we call diarrhea mouth. You know what diarrhea does? When you go to the toilet, you're constantly flowing and getting rid of waste. Well, that's what we end up doing. We end up telling, a lot of our business, and next thing you know, somebody done ran with it across town, and then now you're upset and you're ready to go up top and hurt somebody for an idea that you shared with the world and you gave up. No one knew about my company, Zero Blind Spots, a shameless plug, Zero Blind Spots LLC, that I'm 50-50 partner with a great brother right here from the city, right here from Jersey City, born and raised. But it was me asking, and another thing we can't be afraid of is asking people, what you doing, yo? Who are you, yo? What do you bring to the table? Who are you? And so with that, I can match our gifts. And like me and Anton did, we married our gifts. Yo, we got a 3-year marriage, 2.5-year marriage. Yo, our gifts are madly in love. Our business plan is madly in love with each other. Our family's madly in love. Yo, we go on trips and stuff together. We do all kinds of stuff. But guess what? That didn't happen until I walked up to that brother and asked him, yo, you got the fact that you fix computers on your sweatshirt that the company you work for. Yo, I got a laptop that needs to be fixed. Then I got somebody else that needs to be fixed. Then so on and so on. And then, surveillance cameras. Then we got into that conversation. We were in the back of the house, and we're helping each other put up a surveillance camera. He had just did it at his mom's house. And I'm like, yo, this is dope because, my house ain't going to have no blind spots. You're going to have 0 blind spots in my house. And he looked at me. He looked down. He said, yo, bro, that's it.
That's it.
So and here's what I'm talking about by being pregnant with an idea. This is a cheaper birth than going through the 9 months, right? Because this birth only at the end of you delivering this idea or this passion or this idea to the world, for another $125, you can help mature the baby that you just birthed by getting an LLC behind it and protecting it. How dope is that?
And how much you said it was?
It was like 125,
125, about 125.
125, something crazy like that, yo.
Well, I wanna definitely stay, we definitely have a lot to cover. There's a lot that we can definitely discuss. I mean, we didn't even go through our regulars and we just kind of dived into it. Like this is, because this is something that needed to happen. And it was like, I think when you put 3 people on the screen that's passionate, I'm getting ready. The brother that asked the questions, GODsent, one of my big brothers in poetry, pretty much also good brother. I was actually gonna send him an invitation, like come join us, because he got
right at this point
right now. So GODsent be looking in your inbox. I might send you something. We'll get you on the screen because you got a lot to definitely add to this. And I see you got a lot of questions. I see y'all bouncing off of each other. I want to definitely acknowledge some other people that just joined us as well. Some other comments that we got. Candy Naomi says, Slab, I like that. Instead of spending your energy on convincing others, stay low-key, work hard in silence, and let your success make all the noise.
I agree, Candy.
Treese said, your first line of business is you, Coach C. She's reminding you, go patent that, go copyright that, go throw that on the
t-shirt. He got a whole notes page full of quotes. He is ready for it.
I'm loaded right here, bro.
Lisa Love is joining us on YouTube. Say good afternoon, family. Powerful conversation.
Oh, man, that's my people's there.
We got university in the building.
Risk, our in-house DJ Skelly in the building. He said risk takers are more successful because they're willing to do more than the average person. Right. GODsent again is in here. It says, in your opinion, why are results? Don't answer this right now. I'm just reading what's on the comment because you throw us in a whole nother different direction. Well, I mean, not another direction, but he's ready. He's an active man. I know him. Why are results more important than the actual work to obtain those results for so many of our communities? Mm-hmm. We will discuss that. Let's write that.
Go off so bad right now.
Like we will get there.
We didn't even introduce him. Like, we didn't even get a chance.
No, we didn't do this. That's what I'm saying. We didn't do the proper duties.
Humble, you know.
You know what? You know what it is. You know.
Yeah,
You know what? You know what it is. I love the fact that he was ready to go. I think what just happened literally aligns with what Kendi just said. Let your work speak for you.
Yeah.
At this point, he don't need no introduction.
At this point, right?
I mean, the last half hour that we've been on here, and for those that have been checking in, pretty much we've had about consistent 11 viewers. That should be growing. We're going to be posting this on our Instagram after this as well. With the people that's checked in, they've heard enough to understand what your passion is about. To understand what we're aligned with here and what we're trying to do here. And these conversations need to happen. To even add to what these skits were saying, you said it might not be right now. I think right now we're still in that phase of preparing, of planning, of strategizing. Pretty much, and we will get to the place that you said we're not there right now. But right now, this is what we need to do: educate. That's a big part. Educate people.
That's the number one thing. So I think what happens too, is that self-grandizement of even an intro and all that, because folks love to build themselves up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But pride is kept. We're not exactly sure how much time we got left, so we just need outlets. We just gotta just spill, hit me, and we'll go from there and build. Because I'm looking at one of the things where we was talking about not just the other day about converting, right? So I had a conversation. We ain't even gonna go into names and all that stuff, right? But we were just talking about the whole art this brother Ike had put up. The conversation with God before you go to bed releases unexpected miracles, right? And so, and I'm just like, I've been working with my kids and working in my community as this ultimate salesman, right? Because I love sales, right? And so I love the fragrance of selling success to my kids, at different levels. I love creating positive mindsets in general and generational wealth. And I love escaping. It's kind of so dope when you can have an individual in a situation or a circumstance escape their situation of poverty right there. Right. Where we can now feel like, I'm somewhere where I can see tomorrow and what tomorrow looks like. That I got a next level to my life. People don't realize they don't think they got a next level to their life. I'm 52. I'm not playing.
That's not something
right? Because I realized something.
Mm-hmm.
I realized coming from New York City to Jersey City, I realized something, And if you're not careful and you don't embed this in your soul, that you will be stuck. You got to learn to deliver yourself from people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn how to deliver yourself from people. Because I think what happens is we so caught up with hearing a good lecture or a word, we believe that man can deliver us. And they can't, Your wife can't change you. You can't change your wife.
Right.
Stop trying to do it. The best thing you can do is be a best example and the best version of yourself, even when you're at your worst.
Ooh.
Even when you're at your worst, even when you're hurting.
Yeah.
There's so many times. I'm a 15-year-old father, 15 years old. My son 37, You imagine what I was going through at 15 years old? So now, fast forward, God puts me to work in a high school where now I got this thing where I ride in the back of the bus on every trip we go to. You know why? Because now I'm living through my kids because I robbed myself in my childhood. Nobody gets the back seat unless you're going to sit with me.
Right.
But I'm looking in the eyes and in the back of my kids and saying, look, they gave themselves a chance to have a teenage life. I didn't. So every time I look, I like took the gun and put it in my mouth and said, yo, but then I look fast forward and I'm like, oh, hold on. Education is key.
Yeah.
So not that I'm going to a school where that educates anyone. I'm just making sure that the individuals that I come across, I educate them on the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
It ain't about me coming with curriculum. My curriculum is you, and your first business is you. Your first line of defense towards you winning or losing. You. No one else. You can keep blaming somebody. I lost my mom, Tori. You lost yours. I'm praying God sent that your mom is here and your dad, but both of mine is gone. But the coolest thing is for me to turn 50 years old and lose my mom, I'm operating in a total sense of emptiness right now.
Right.
And so if I'm in the process of building myself up, then I might as well take the whole community. Let's go.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's get this together.
Exactly.
Because even though your parents is alive, but you moving in a dead state. You're moving in a dead state, and your parents is alive, and you're ignoring them and not getting no Jews from them. It's just like your parents is not even here. And then you want to keep in the casket when they gone, but while they here, you're not even questioning them. You're not answering. You're not asking them questions. You're not giving them unconditional love. Your parents are struggling in a pandemic. They have no way of seeing themselves outside of working for someone else. They don't know how to go put a proposal together, present, have a level of confidence, not be afraid, be God-fearing, love yourself, bet on yourself. Make sure you're prepared to hear no because you've heard no in all different languages. And when you hear that first yes, you like, yes. You like, yes.
Right.
Now watch this. Our mission statement for Zero Blind Spots, another shameless plug, is that what? We aim to over deliver. We're not delivering no product. We aim to over deliver. And so there's not a client out there right now out of the 40 plus clients that we performed and did over the last 2 years. And I just made mention of the company just here because guess what? I understand the whole option of people praying for your downfall.
Yeah.
So I have a nice way of making everybody feel like they're wanted, and they are, and they're human, and you're supposed to. But I also know where to place you when the time is right to place you. And we got to get with that. We got to learn more of that instead of thinking that everybody is supposed to ride that wave. Unfortunately, you got weight on your boat that's sinking your boat, and you think that because they popular, they funny, they got the mad poets, they got the mad poetry, they always coming up with the creative punchlines and all that stuff there. But guess what? They might just be good at being the CEO of their own world and getting themselves together and not being a part of a CEO of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Your brand. So be careful who you're allowing to be a CEO and co-partner with, but at the same time, don't be afraid to partner. Yeah. So 6 out of 7 of the businesses I have is all partnerships. Fly.
Well, so Coach C, we definitely want to welcome everybody for joining us. This is the CryOut Cave Art in Black History Month. For the whole month of February, our theme is Art in Black. You see it going Art in Black. So as artists, one of the things that we've been doing on the CryOut Cave page is featuring the bios. This month we really want to focus a lot on education. Yeah, educating people about themselves, and stuff like that. So one of the aspects that we're doing, if you go on our page, you see a series of bios that features some historical figures that's had a lot of effect on the art scene. Pretty much. So you see postings about them. Every Wednesday we host a virtual open mic on the CryOut Cave Instagram page. And we have people join us from all over. That's hosted by Piffy, who's with us right here, right now. The last all the way from UK joining us on that. Again, we just want to be proud, but at the same time of with being proud is an opportunity for us to say, how do we grow a little bit?
Yeah.
How do we make sure that by the next time that we celebrate this, that we will actually have something new to celebrate? Like,
Yeah.
you know, pretty much like this is the Black New Year. You know, I would say this is the Black New Year. Like, you know, how you step into, you know, pretty much February, you know, is the Black New Year, because then after that, everything is kind of numbed down, and we don't celebrate Black history on a heavy note
Right.
on international again until next February. So what do we do?
So February is the highlight of the year.
Yeah, for us as Black people. You know,
for America.
Okay, done.
Hey, I'm gonna let you finish flowing, because all I want to show you is something that I've been crying out for the last. Love the shirt. That's one of our babies too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Narisha. Yep.
Narisha. Yeah. I remember. Yo, that's dope, yo. Oh man, it's crazy. But one of the things, man, that I often think about, right, is when we look at that month of February, which is kind of really slick, and I'm not even going to go into it like that, but just think, we believe in that when we get to Christmas and all those holidays that was prepped up for us to spend.
Yeah.
We need to consume and be super duper busy during this particular time of the year, because soon after this month is gone,
that is so
the
true.
next 11 months is dead.
I like what you did there, Coach. You said something that really stuck with me. When it comes to Christmas and that season, we'd be so willing to spend. When it comes to this month, it's just been a big blur. It's just been, for the past couple of years, I feel like it's just been like just another month to celebrate us. And I feel like for me personally, this year in particular and last year, I feel like it's just growing and growing and growing. This month alone is growing and growing and growing. The amount of days in the month is staying the same no matter what. But I just feel like the education on Black history, which is what the whole month is to represent, it has been growing over the years more and more. And I think that the more things are in our face, the more we stop and be like, wait, hold up, this is us. Like they don't really know what we could bring to the table. Let's show them. And I feel like that's what's been happening this month. You see our students actually right here. I just got my stuff in the mail from Anissa Lawrence. You see our students having their own business. When I was in high school a couple years ago, that was never a thing. It was never a thing to have your own business while you were in high school. So to see that growth in my face is like, wow, like this is why we do it. And you said that really stuck with me just now. I say that to say we really do need to start treating this month like it's a whole holiday. We say our birthday, we celebrate our birthdays for the entire month. Let's celebrate Black history every day.
Yeah, I think just consuming it, like GODsent said, just consuming more of it, and so I'm not gonna go there yet because I'm waiting for the question. But we haven't even gotten really to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Because, we all we need, Joe.
Yeah.
We all we need. Mm-hmm. We all we need. We all we got. And until we get bold enough to start bouncing them ideas and going out and rescuing some of these young babies off the street and really, really locking them down with the truth and telling them what it really is.
Yeah.
We got a big task up ahead for, especially this last year, that the whole planet has never existed and felt.
Yeah. Never.
So let's just keep that in mind. But yes, sir.
So, I want to hear a little bit from our viewers. Thank you if you're joining us right now. Pretty much, and I'm, just riding off what we talked about, how Piffy just mentioned how, we go crazy when it comes to Christmas. When it comes to Black History Month, this should be months where we turn in Black businesses into millionaires. Like we should be going bananas.
Here's the crazy joke. At least one month out of 12, we turn everybody else into millionaires and billionaires for 12 months of the year.
Yeah.
If you take 1 month to
Right.
turn all the black businesses into millionaires, or have a breakout
Yeah.
fiscal first fiscal. Yeah, oh, man, yo. Yeah. You on to something, yo.
Yeah, because even
So
the turnover with Independence Day, like a lot of people aren't even celebrating Independence Day anymore and turning that into Juneteenth. They say why are we celebrating Independence Day
because
for
you know what?
even ours?
You know what? You know how we are, and I said in a poem that you heard recently. Pretty much, we're all day emotionally high. Like
Yeah,
something has to happen.
yeah,
Sadly, but truly, something has to happen that like something nationally or internationally that happens to fall in that period. So everything is kind of like a timely opportunity. See, that happened because of everything that was going on around that time.
Correct.
Mhm.
So emotions were high. We're like, oh, this is coming up, and we talking about the TV talking about, 4th of July sales and this, and like, yo, we
Yeah.
see people dying.
Yeah.
And y'all trying to that's the first time that Juneteenth became that big and national, and stuff. There's a lot of us that been celebrating it, but for the first time,
Exactly.
now everybody like, what is this thing called Juneteenth?
Back to saying education is key. That's exactly what that is.
I don't even think it's just even in being educated. Some of these things that we reiterate, and some of us know it, but if it's not the wave.
Yeah, that is true.
Correct.
If it's not the wave, we're not gonna do it. That whole blacking out screens. Let's do that again. Let's black out Instagram again. Pretty much. Let's make that an ongoing thing. There's so much. We got to come up with ways to definitely like grow us.
Yeah. Grow us to grow up. Right.
Oh, I like that. I need a pen and paper. Like, hold on, I'm about to go get a notebook or something.
Claudia L. Jackson, thank you for joining us. Say, sow it somewhere, business showers. Woo! I like that.
That's dope. I never heard that. That's dope.
She said business showers for beginning entrepreneur, like the high school students Piffy mentioned. Having business showers. That's
having a business for this?
It says, Sister Claudia, Sister Jackson, as my mom and my auntie and them used to say, you better hush. You better hush. You better say a business shower?
Ooh, I like that. And look. For those that may not
bring
know,
your gifts with you.
For those,
bring your gifts. Everybody who ain't come with a gift got to come in. If the men coming in, they got to have a pillow under their shirt if they still pregnant.
Look, some of y'all on here might not know me. As I am right now, I'm sitting in. I'm a business owner. I own my own banquet space. So when you think of when you say something like business showers, I'm connecting directly, and I'm finna sit down talk about Piffy. How we gonna organize one?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm a go-getter. I'm an active individual. And when people throw things like that out there, Claudia, inbox me. We need to talk about this and make it happen. We're gonna give you all the credit. But
you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. You didn't run with that sister's idea because she's the best version of herself.
Yes.
What I'm doing, I'm the best version of myself, bro.
Yeah.
So if you not, I was waiting and I was setting you up because I was saying to myself, if you didn't do it, bro, I was damn sure gonna do it, but I was gonna also bring you to your platform. But I love. Listen, hear me. I love what I just saw from you, which further brings, and like I said, GODsent. The name is there. But that was so right on time. Because you acknowledging that sister by letting her know that idea was so grand.
And it was hers.
But not only that, she has the blueprint.
That's it.
All we have to do is add the idea to begin to balloon that. And guess what? That's another stream.
Yes.
The podcast / events monthly / another stream.
Yeah.
So shameless plug. Again, as we're sitting here, I know you guys probably see me looking up and looking sideways a couple of times. That's because as I'm here right now, we're actually setting up for a pop-up shop at the banquet hall.
Oh, cool.
Small black. I'm not sure if y'all can see it, but they are setting up right now. At my banquet space right now. And I'm gonna say this right now. I told somebody this, and I keep it 100. I'm passionate about our people. As an owner of a banquet space, pop-up shops are not profitable for my hall. Pretty much to do here. To be honest with you, yes, baby showers, yes, weddings. But pop-up shops are not on the high hand for me. But I do it because it's profitable for our community.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts. And as long as you keep, and here's how that works too. You have to keep promoting those ideas. That pop-up shop might just be popping up that person's self-esteem.
Exactly. I like that.
Building that person up.
Exactly.
Perhaps letting that person know by somebody asking them, do they have something? And then they say, you know what? No, I don't have that. But next time you see me, just like Brother GODsent said, next time you see me, that I'm gonna have something different and more to talk about.
Exactly.
And so I think that was really, really, really on point there. By mentioning that. And then that was dope. But yeah, so yeah. You just leveraged your relationship just now. I like that.
Just give me 1 second, guys. Piffy, you take over. I'll be right back. Just need to attend to something real quick. All right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was actually one question that we did have written down that I wanted to ask you in particular. That this might lead the conversation in a different direction, but I'm still interested. And we also have to revisit that question that the audience member asked as well. I definitely want to hear your perspective on that. But for right now, we have a question written down, and it goes, tell us something about yourself that your resume would never tell us.
Oh, man. Yeah. So my biggest, one of my biggest, and I almost slipped and said it earlier, because it's something that I'm so deeply passionate about.
Yeah.
Right, that I love, is always keeping in the back of my head since I was a kid. I mean, since I was probably about 7 to 8 years old when I started learning about inventions, I kept saying, what would happen if the world didn't have Black people?
Yo,
I'm like, what would happen if Blacks, African, Moors, my Latin, my Afro-Latin folks, out the Caribbean, my folks up in London, big up to them, down in the Caribbean. What would happen?
You just said something, Coach, that the conversation that we just had on the panel discussion for our school. For those of you who don't know, we had a Black History Month event at we both work at the same high school in Jersey City. And we had a panel discussion for our students. And one of the perspectives that because I was on the panel, one of the things that I brought to the table was being a mixed Black woman. And you said something that has always stuck with me, regardless of whatever. I have been raised by my white side and my Spanish side, but I've been influenced by my father's side, which is my Black side. And I always have said to myself, I don't know what kind of person I would be without that experience of my deeper roots, like being down south, running outside the house without no shoes on, just to go down the block and just BS all day, as kids with my cousins that I otherwise would not really have. I'm not really in touch with like my white side of the family like that. Like, I'm not really as close with them. but I've even had like a more of a, I would say, sustainable relationship with my Black side. And it's like, that's who I am. Like, this is my culture. This is what I represent, you know?
Facts.
So as this, and this is just another one of the things you deal with being mixed, like, you know, having to connect with every side of you, not just one side of you, because it's multifaceted, you know? So you said something that's like, damn, like, what would I do without us?
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, right? And this is just a abbreviated version of everything I dealt with this morning.
Yeah.
Right. And these are all Black inventors, right?
Okay.
So just from this list alone,
Yeah.
I'm wondering how I would have came to you guys this morning and what I would have looked like if I was able to exist without the inventions of Black Americans or Afro Americans or whatever, right? So this morning I had to go in my car. So of course there's the auto gear shift, right? And so I was on the cell phone. The cellular car phone or the cell phone was made by us. I washed a load of laundry this morning. The clothes dryer was made by us. I went to leave out the house. I had to turn the doorknob. That was made by us.
Right.
My wife was making baking up some goods, and she was using that egg beater in the back, right, and some other stuff mixing it. In order for me to be able to see you or to be able to have access to even seeing you right now, that was made by a Black man. We're talking about imagine the world. She asked me what my resume don't speak about, and I often told her how I, as a kid, would drift off into thinking how would the world exist without Blacks, right? And so just this morning alone, I'm going through a list of things. So then the electrical lamp and light bulb, Lewis Lattimore. My wife was in there brushing her hair. She wouldn't have been able to brush her hair because then the comb wouldn't have been invented, right? I had to lock the door when I left out. I wanted to make sure, did any mail come in my mailbox? So that was by Paul Downing in 1891. I went in the refrigerator this morning to get a smoothie, the ingredients for a smoothie this morning. That was in the refrigerator. I see all this snow outside, and I'm like, man, I can't wait for them to clean up because I hate when it snows and a lot of dirt and debris is all over the streets. So then I'm like, I can't wait for the street sweeper to start back. And the street sweeper was invented by us, Charles Brooks, in 1890. The stove, we had breakfast this morning. You know, so the stove, the telephone transmitter, the thermostat controlling my house. I turned up the heat a little bit. You know, the traffic light. I told you I ran out this morning. The traffic light, the TV remote. I was looking at Master P this morning on something, right? And so that was just my experience this morning in the cold region of America, right? But down south, there would be something else. I didn't have peanut butter. I didn't play a record. I wasn't riding a horse. You know, I wasn't using shampoo. I didn't change a car, spark plugs. I didn't have on any eye protectors. I didn't use or a gas mask or golf tee or play the guitar or a baby buggy or a bicycle frame or use an air conditioner. I didn't use none of that. And so just imagine the world without us is something that on my resume that I always wish to tell the world one day, in one way or another as a platform. And one of the things that's not on my resume that I'm huge on, and I believe that every one of us as a people will win. And we will win in our own way. Because we have to always keep in mind that the Creator didn't allow all this to happen and not put us through us being able to fight to learn information, to read, to connect with others, you know, and to make some better sound decisions on not destroying our lives as often as we were doing at one point with the drugs and everything that was implanted in our community. But to be able to now start to say, you know, we want better. So that's one of the things on my resume that I've always carried.
That's so important. That is like poetry right there, Coach. Like I really hope that sticks with you forever, because that's definitely gonna stick with me for a very long time. Like when you speak about the inventions of Black people, why don't we speak about these things, and why don't we know these things, and why is it made it seem like these aren't like these, this isn't the way? Like, why is it made it seem like they dominate? And one of the things that I've actually mentioned this in a, what is that?
So here is the lady who I'm riding on the back of, my partner and I, with our surveillance company business.
Okay.
This lady here, Marie Brown, was the was the inventor of the first home security system.
Who knew?
First out of Queens.
Crazy.
Was the first one, you know, and her and her husband, and I think about this patent because we're looking at a lot of other places and we're looking at the wrong place to blame a lot of our struggle here in America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that patent office that sits down there in DC that robbed us of all our patents.
Yeah.
All patents that they approved.
Yeah, this is what this shirt represents: ghetto until proven fashionable. They don't like it until it benefits them.
Yes. So we did. So I will start mentioning some names so that just in case this gets cut off. So you got as a matter of fact, I can do one even better. Hold on one sec.
Oh, he about to pull out some crazy.
Wait, what's getting cut off? Somebody, nothing getting cut off.
It's strong right here. I don't know about you.
So, you know, I'll say this.
What you got?
Here's that heat right here. Powernomics.
Okay.
The national plan to empower Black America. Here, Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. Look him up on YouTube. He was even on the Breakfast Club. Dr. Claude Anderson. Hey. More dirty little secrets. Right? About Black history, its heroes, and other troublemakers. Right here. Right? You ready for this? Here's the first one.
Dirty little.
You read this and learn all the secrets. And last but not least, this is, I don't put nowhere near any scripture in the world. So this is by man here.
Where does it say? Black labor, white wealth. Crazy.
You see how many, I'm always, if I open this book up here, you know, why the Indians were not enslaved. We never seen Indians in slavery.
Right.
There's a reason why. You know, we talk about having power and we haven't raised any bread or no money. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you.
Of itself.
Yeah, and so there's so many things that we have to put in place before making your move, but that doesn't mean that you don't give birth to your dream and then you can be able to live within your own little Black Wall Street. I always say the reason why they were able to burn down Tulsa like that is because that was something that they seen. So imagine every time I walk through your neighborhood and I see you floss like Nipsey Hussle. I see you flossing every day. I see you out there. Yo, so guess what? Just like Tulsa, hey, listen, I'm tired of seeing y'all looking good, banks, you know, businesses, schools, and all that stuff. So if it's something tangible that I can see, I can get to it and burn it.
Right.
When are we going to start thinking about what Harriet was doing in regards to staying low and build? Stay low and build.
What would be like a modern day? What would a modern day Harriet Tubman look like?
On the visible Black Wall Street, where you got your business, I'm riding with you. Right, everything low key. We ain't gotta be support this Black-owned business. More so than the fact that if we know you exist and we don't support you, and then that's a problem.
Yeah,
you know. And so we're seeing it now. We're seeing podcasts. That's a part of the underground movement.
Yeah,
you know. So why you keep thinking? Whenever you hear, this is who you follow. You follow whoever Facebook and Instagram bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Or bands. Those are the people you follow because some way or how they kind of ruffled the feathers of the system.
Yeah.
And because of that, you know, we got to either annihilate you, quiet you, you know, give you some way somehow. Yeah. And they got to quiet you down. So that's what the Underground Railroad will look like today.
I could imagine.
Now I know I got a catering hall.
So
So how in God's green earth that I don't say, man, let me see how I can come up with an idea, this, that, and the other, or God says, say, yo, I need surveillance, yo. I need you to come bless my situation. Yo, I done went to your website, I done seen it. Yo, I ain't even got to come to your website. I'm going to text you personally and be like, yo, come through and do a site survey. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can work out. Take care of me, then I'll show you how I got 6 other people over here that has somewhat of the same type businesses that don't have no eyes on it. That's how it works. Leveraging relationships, betting on yourself. That's all a part of the underground movement. Because if I see what you're doing and I see you feel like you flossing, I'm going to take you out. But if I don't see what you're doing and see that you have been still doing without what we run and we tell our whole life.
Everything.
This advice here. So everybody knows your moves. So I was telling my wife that it looks like about 0.5% of everything I've done in the last 7 years is on here. None of it's on here. All of it is being done. There's action behind it. And guess what? I don't got to get on here and tell you what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
Let's just do it. Let's just care for family. Let's just care for others. Let's just make things happen. And it's just that. How are we going to escape from this? So remember where we came from, a 500 credit score community.
Yeah.
So what better way to do? You can't go down no further. You can only come up.
Right.
And what we've seen in the last year is a resurgence of our people growing in a way, especially our young folks like you guys, the millennials, that are on this line here saying to yourself, yo, we gotta make something happen. We ain't gotta go, and look for somebody, yo, coach can play us, be the plug to someone else.
Yeah.
Because I have relationships, because I know how to honor people.
That's exactly
having relationships. Guess what? Guess what was one of the best things that I did by making sure that I honored my relationships? When I honored my relationships, I started to learn the value and the definition of money. Had I not had those relationships, then guess what?
It's so true.
And so I just certain things that just allows you to be able to live and you can help others and you have options and, and it's just the coolest thing when you can just reach out and say, you know what, let's do something for this individual here. We ain't got to go on Instagram. We ain't got to do this. We ain't got to say, I'm helping that family that got burnt out. We helping this one, that one. Now just go by there, get to the source and go here. Yeah. Or like Aretha Franklin did, she had somebody else come and give the envelope. And nobody knew who that old lady was until Aretha Franklin's funeral. Coach, I'm thinking about that. That person was the one that came and always gave an envelope.
Wow.
That's how you move.
Silence, move in silence. That's
move
right.
In silence, y'all. It's okay.
God saying you
can't televise the movement at all, because then somebody gonna mess around and jump in your lane, and not that they will alter it, but at the same time they done picked up all your jewels and thought that they had something, and meanwhile they didn't have a thing.
Yeah. It's also important to note that no matter what, nobody can do what you do.
No, and that's it. And so just just locked in. I like the fact that that you're having these conversations, and as artists, some of the dopest mindsets in the world came from the poets. When I think about when the revolution comes and all that, when I think back, like the poets, it was the first form of rap, and when you sped poetry up is when you got a dope record. It's like the Lauryn Hills and the folks like you guys, Piffy. And I ain't hear GODsent yet, but I'm almost sure that he would go there at any given point.
How you say, Coach? Don't play yourself, yo.
Don't play yourself, yo. Nah. I'm telling you now, man. I said it at the outset about our conversation today, and I want to get back on that point just for a sec. That if you're playing now, you're gonna pay later.
Yeah.
I'm not millions, and I'm gonna let them all in. I'll let a lot of folks in, and we love symbolism. Don't get caught on symbolism this time around.
Right.
Please don't. Don't get caught on symbolism, y'all. I'm telling you.
I want Coach. So I definitely. How's my Wi-Fi? Because I feel like I'm having some issues. Am
Yeah, you
I
moving, you
breaking up,
doing.
or am I good, Piff? Let me know.
You might want to get your Wi-Fi extender up that high. Yeah, why not? Yeah, because you're gonna be doing a lot of work out of that hall. So you go ahead and beef up on a Wi-Fi. And I got one right not too far from me.
No. No, I'm gonna switch to. I'm gonna switch to my mobile because my public Wi-Fi is down currently. Optimum is supposed to come look at it, so I had to give my private Wi-Fi to the top shop that's going on, which is probably being overloaded right now. So just let me switch over to my.
Your explanation, just make it happen, baby.
Yeah, just do what you gotta do. This is actually a good time to dive into the question from
and we should be rolling smooth from there.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
But just to, I don't know if you guys can hear me. If this is breaking up, while I do that, if you can hear me,
it's over. And that was all she wrote. So I think that this is a good opportunity to dive into Dita Chiz's question from earlier. He said, I don't know how to put it up on the screen like GODsent did, but he said, in your opinion, why are results more important than the actual work or process to obtain those results for so many of our communities? What do you think?
Say the well, just say the question over again.
Okay. Why are results more important than the actual work or the process to obtain those results for so many of our communities? Why is that? Why are the results more important?
It's funny. We're visual people.
Yeah.
If I see you doing it,
it's just that
you making it happen. If I see you know what I used to always tell myself that I would never do what I'm doing now? I used to say I am never gonna ride around in no white truck like them old men with oil up under their and look crazy. And look at what I'd rather not even drive my truck that I purchased just last year. I want to make sure I'm riding around and something that for me is rewarding because I'm actually riding through the journey of something that was planted. And my partner allowed me to be a part of his world. Now take off and we married each other's gifts. So it's important, man, that the process is one thing, but to have somebody quietly go off into the sunset, and you see what the hell happened. Yeah. I didn't know you did it. It's ABC and D, and it's important.
There's an echo. GODsent, mute yourself. There's an echo. There you go. Okay, what you were saying?
Yeah, so it's important for us to actually see. We see it, and visual is important. Then when you see, that's what I was talking about earlier about not being afraid to jockey of courage to go ask somebody, how did you do it?
Right. Yeah.
What was your mindset, Joe? We live in the same area code.
Exactly.
We live in the same. This is the worst 4 blocks in our city.
Yeah.
But you decided that today or yesterday that you were going to be the best version of yourself and go out and make something happen, regardless.
Yes.
To being able to show the process, I'm getting it in, this, that, and the other. No, I want you to be able to ask me and have a conversation to see what are you doing with rap bands all over town?
Yeah.
So how did you go from, I remember asking the people on the, what's that, Lala's empanadas. Like, yo, like I had empanadas before all day. Like I had an empanada that tastes better than that empanada. But guess what? Yo, how the hell you put your logo, how you put your Lala logo on the end to close the empanada? So I know that if I eat this anywhere in the world, I know this came from you.
Yeah.
That being said, I love the process, right? But I also love the visual first.
Yeah.
Right? Which gives you an opportunity to enjoy the process. So in our community, what we see a lot of visually is people with sword license. Right?
Yeah.
With smocks. Right? So we think of security guard, smocks, retail, and a whole lot of some other stuff, right? But it's really in drug dealing. Please don't discount drug dealing. Because ain't nowhere in the world you telling me that marketing is not one of their number one schemes.
Exactly.
So I'm coming over to get what you got because you got 35 guys standing around you. I'm thinking everybody getting paid when it's only 2 of y'all getting paid. The rest of y'all are there as an audience and just laughing at my jokes. Right? Then I go to another block as a fiend and I'm looking, there's only 4 people over there. I'm like, man, I'm going over here with the 35 people at. And I'm going to cop from them. So you see visually.
Yeah.
But then, you know, what happens to us is a lot of times we get attracted to shiny liabilities and believing that they're assets when they're only liabilities. And that's where we would do better as a community when we start to be able to ask those questions and see those individuals. There's people winning in your community that's winning like crazy. They just not a blabbermouth. They diarrhea mouth. They're not running their mouth and telling every damn thing.
Yeah. That's something that I'm currently working on myself right now. Is just keeping things low, you know.
Yeah.
Things low. That's it. There's nothing more to that. Just keep it low until you got to figure it out.
So,
yeah, I'm glad my brother's back. What's up, Ray?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's a lot. I'm glad, you know, again, that I'm sorry about all the I have to figure all this out, but I'm back in here right now. I kind of want us to go a little bit back to our program. We've been a little bit all over the place, you know, but I want to make sure that, you know, when people that have been with us since the beginning of this, because we have some viewers that are still hanging with us. There's, you know, it's a lot of information, and people's attention is very, and they're retaining of information unless they're taking notes, which is why I hope some people are sitting there with their notebook in their hand and whatnot. I got my notebook right here. I've been writing things, you know, because again, trying to keep all this information up here is a lot. But hopefully, you know, our goal is at the end of this video that we did spark something within somebody to do something more than what they're doing right now, to take more active measures. Because, you know, Coach said it earlier, there's a few bursts of people that are actually doing things now. And the way that we add to that few bursts, I mean, we have 3 of them right here. You know, pretty much a lot of people that know me know my activity in the community. Piffy has been doing her thing. Definitely join CryOut Cave right now. She's giving a lot of her time up to help the cause that helps something bigger than herself while pursuing her career as well. So we're just a few of those numbers. And there's 7 people, 8 people, 10 people viewing right now. If we could just inspire them to definitely say, you know, before this Black History Month is over, you know, in the next 1 year, in the next few months, what am I going to do? Starting from tomorrow, what am I going to wake up and do to make sure that my community is improved, to make sure that my community is in a better place? You know, then we've done our job. Coach, tell us one thing about yourself that your resume would never tell.
He answered that already.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it.
Yeah, so just in a nutshell, so there was a few things, but I was
a fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much is just imagining the world, without blacks, and I'm still
Yeah.
behind that. And I just listed about 20 things off this list that I used this morning. That if I didn't have, I wouldn't be before you. Or at least looking in this condition before you, and I would be in the dark right now talking. We might not even have no electricity. Speaking of which, right? But also, one of the things that I would list on my resume. It's just the mere fact of knowing and believing that I know each and every one of our people will win and is going to win and is winning. In their own likelihood. It's not about a dollar amount or what have you, but it's about living in something that brings you great joy. Your love for God, your love for helping people, your love for community. Your decent love for your immediate family, and so, we often find ourselves, we often find ourselves in a place, right, that our resume does all the speaking for us, but that's where I went back to being a public success and a private failure.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that's just like assets over liabilities, making sure that that on the back end that there's some things that you have to kind of somewhat unfortunately keep to yourself until you're ready to give birth to it.
Yeah, you bring up a good point about the self. Like I have in the past couple months even have been being taught these lessons about being alone and going through things with yourself to come out stronger than what you have been doing. Because I've always noticed that for myself personally, that I've always have had to have somebody in my corner. And becoming a mom is slowly but surely teaching me that really the only person in your corner is yourself and your child, if you have them, if your children. And so, and for people that don't even have children, it's like your children are really like that you're instilling in and pouring into.
Yeah.
Can I chime in?
Yes.
I think one of the things that are really hurting our community right now is this self-love. I'm not saying that I'm against self-love. It's us loving ourselves so much to the point that it's kind of like everybody else.
Yeah.
That it's us just not caring, because in order for us to move forward as a community, we need to be a community. And that requires many times and sometimes self-sacrifice. And finding a balance. Most people don't really see or understand the balance between self-love and self-sacrifice. Knowing when to sacrifice something that you desire for the betterment of the community. I just talked about how I had to definitely readjust my pricing to bring vending events here that help the community, but didn't necessarily bring profit for my space here. Pretty much. And everybody worry about definitely getting rich, and so I'm all about self-love, but I think it needs to be taught how to self-love to the point that it doesn't hurt the community, it doesn't hurt those, because our community is hurting and we need to heal. We need to talk about the healing. We need to talk about being able to trust each other more as African American people. One of the reasons why we're so behind and struggling is because there is no unity. There's not enough unity amongst us. Pretty much. I mean, in terms of what we could accomplish if we had enough trust to come together, to put our resources together, we could do something really great. I'm in the business world. I witnessed certain things that's really crazy. Like I'm here, and many times I'm like, man, if only I could. I wish I could find somebody as passionate as me throughout this pandemic.
Oh my God!
It was really. It was really a struggle. It wasn't easy. I'm still here as a business owner, still pushing it. Pretty much have to pay my rent at the end of the month and not at the beginning of the month. I have to figure it out. But I have a store right next to me, right? A good that I have good relationships. Some Hispanics, right? And you know, they're not here right now. They don't follow me, so I'm gonna put the information out there, all right?
Mhm.
Um, but what's amazing is the fact that most people don't know this. When the pandemic happened, that store went from being occupied by one individual to being occupied by four individual businesses.
Mm.
Um, and you know, pretty much. And what happened is the fact that they had a space. The space, I think they do one of those it wraps or it works type businesses. You know, pretty much. And then they started doing classes about fitness. And then somebody else, they had like a little platform brought their doing a party business, put a display in their window to promote their party business, and they're sharing. And it's crazy because when I spoke to the owner, I was like, yo, that's really crazy. Like, imagine if I could find some other people in the
Yeah.
community. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very proactive. So I began to search. I began to reach out to some people and say, hey, look, it's an opportunity. Let's work together here. We can even come to terms. And it's because of that need that we don't trust. Most of them looking at me like, oh, what this dude trying to do? I mean, what's in it for him?
Yeah.
Let me think about. I don't know how I feel about this because people be funny, stuff like that.
Right.
And the thing is this: we need to heal because the thing is this: like
Oh,
unless we come together, we are gonna be stuck at where we are. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm trying to be realistic about this.
mm.
Like, as a community, unless we find a way to work together. Pretty much. Coach earlier talked about, I have a banquet hall, pretty much, and the pastor that brought my video equipment here is a black man, pretty much. But I'll be honest with you, I'm getting ready to call him. I said and say, look, how come you ain't never bring me no business? Because that's what I'm talking about here. About how we as a community need to work together. To definitely help everybody just stay afloat. And the
Different
thing
level
is,
of support.
let's self-love, yes, is very important, but not if it's hurting our community.
Yeah.
Not if it's everybody is saying F you and we're not even being forgiven to our partners because people are people and we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna make errors,
Mm.
and we're gonna hurt each other whether we mean it or not. But let's be willing and open to sit down and be able to find healing at the same time
Yes.
as a community.
Mm.
Yeah. So a few things you said, right? So
Talk to me, coach. Talk to me. 'Cause I'm just
I want to help you. I want to help you. So the few things, right? So one of the things that I live by, right? Don't look for any gains, but there's no sacrifices, right? Don't look for no gains, right? Because guess what? Everybody ain't gonna put the work in. Everybody ain't gonna put the work in. Get ready to have your heart stepped on and thrown around, and still have a great deal of love. One of the biggest things that we have to the paradigm is shifting because we was operating so much in self-hate.
Yeah.
And, we've been operating so much in self-hate, bro. You can't tell me. Man, listen. I had to get partnerships. Thank God I came and had relationships in that good old beautiful city called NYC. But a lot of my partnerships come from across the waters, right? So, but needless to say, right? Needless to say, I also had to realize that if I'm not my best version of myself, if I'm not the best version of myself, I can't help nobody, bro. Right. But I can't help nobody. So in the interim of me realizing don't look for any gains because there's no sacrifices and things of that nature, I'm also letting myself know that even with a form of, and here's where it comes, man, where we believe that we think that, and there's areas in your life where your degree don't carry no weight, yo.
Literally. Like
there's areas in your life where your college degree don't carry no weight. So if that's the case, and we're looking at people who've gone off to school, have businesses or want to start businesses, and that's afraid and that's fearful, or worrying about taking an L, then that basic need of self-love is needed for you to go ahead and jump off anybody's cliff, yo. So self-love to me is ultra important. It never said self-love equates to selfishness. It never said that. But my thing is, what I am aware of is that if I don't go out and for therapy for me is to go shovel some snow or to go move, to go help somebody or to go feed someone. Yo, if I'm not at my best version of myself, then I don't care who's holding me.
You can't do it, yeah.
You can't do it. And so, and I get it, yo, but that doesn't mean that the community can't come together. It just means that now that I got a control and I'm loving self even more, then I'm doing more, I can do more, I'm doing more, and I'm making things happen for other folks who find themselves with a lack of self-love.
And I think that that's what GODsent was like kind of touching up upon is the balance. Like that right there is the balance.
Yes, so you're right, GODsent. The question that you were saying, so the balance behind all of that, that in order for me to do anything for anyone, I got to be the best version of myself.
Yeah,
right. And so that's going to take some work to do. But then I also have to realize, fast forward, and I had mentioned to Tori that there's areas.
I would say you got to be working on the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, so here's what I'm saying. So
not you, because you may not have arrived at the best version of yourself yet.
But at your current state,
right.
So at your current state, right, and this is important. At your current state right now, I'm not saying you, but anybody in their current state right now, what we are looking at and what we see and what we envision is what's a good idea to us at the moment.
Right.
Right. So it's a good idea. It was a good idea not to partner going into, let's just say something along the lines like your line of business. That it was a good idea that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into business because I couldn't find no one, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And it was even a grander idea of saying, damn, if I could have got me 3 or 4 people like my poppy and them did at the store downstairs, that they always prepare. See, if you really, really wholeheartedly good idea not to partner going into so if you really wholeheartedly realize that what Poppy and them did down at their store was more cooperative economics, right? And so nobody probably out of that whole crew is at the best version of themselves. But guess what they realized? That I got enough self-love for me to open up the doors.
Yes.
To be able to allow someone else in that's going to help me pay for a share of what this cost monthly is going to be and the overhead. But at the same time, I love it with the Hasidic community. One of the things I learned from the Jewish Hasidic community was when the guy told me one day, he says, listen, we don't have to be cool, you and I, GODsent. We can go into business. We don't have to be cool. But our attorneys have to see eye to eye. Our attorneys have to be cool. So just imagine, that's just a tidbit, right? So there's no self-love in that whole equation.
Right.
I'm going to get to that bag. I'm going to make sure that my family, has not got ashy lips and don't have a clue where they're going.
Yeah.
And every time they see me and they say, hey, Papa, this, Papa, that, and they see me down all day, every day, even when I'm going through something where I'm stuck, whether it's in business or my relationship or missing my mom or whatever the case is, that the best version of me is what they have to see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they have to see that, Joe. And I keep saying the best version of me, or we can say where we are right now in true self is the same thing, but in a nutshell, a play on words, but just looking at your true self and knowing that at your true self, you're saying to yourself, there's something else I could be doing more. Like I already know once I get here off this line that there's something that that's been bothering me that I need to pay some attention to, right? So guess what? I'm going to pay attention to that. And then I also know at 11:30 I got to get ready because I'm going to do an overnight job at one of the top restaurants in Jersey City. And I'm doing overnight surveillance to put in some cameras for them. And I asked them the question, how and why me? And why us as a company? And you know what I love that was mentioned? The mere fact was that you guys not only was confident, but you had self-confidence. When you came in here, you was adamant about your deliverable, what you deliver on, and the fact that you can deliver on that and say you can, and that you have to live up to your name of being destroyed. If you're going to deliver, then I'm going to give you a shot. And guess what? Check. But that wouldn't have happened if me and my partner would have walked in there, you know, with oh man, oh whoa, it's me, or the white man did this, or the white man did that, and saying that. And so, us as a people, we're at a good state right now of saying that, yo, let's go get this, yo. Let's go make some things happen. But guess what? I'm also going to build myself up first to be able to accept the good that's going to come my way.
Time is now.
So I wanna keep going because we got 3 more questions that we want to answer. We also have maybe about 20 minutes left in this live. You know, pretty much we didn't want to go over the 2-hour mark. You know, people's attention span is you know, it literally when it comes to shows like this, it's hard to even keep people beyond the 1-hour mark.
Everything I watch is over an hour, so we always
that's it, exactly.
So, but when it's good, it's good. You know, people are gonna watch it and come back and rewatch it. How would you currently describe? How would you describe the current state of Black America? If you were to able to put it into, I guess, words. Be real, straight up.
So,
you know.
So once again, I said don't look for any gains without any sacrifices. So we're gonna have to sacrifice some things, yo.
But what is our current state? How would you describe
our current state? We are teetering near last place.
So in other words, we in a bad place.
So we're in a bad place in this place called America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say that as a 2-part. The good thing is the current condition that we're in, it's going to take all of us on the creative front, on the love, on the pushing each other, and also on supporting each other to get us out of this state, right? So when we overall look at unemployment and we look at a lot of those numbers and a lot of things that we're looking at that gives you the definition of where we are currently at, don't speak volumes to the fact that if you know, and it's funny, I heard somebody say, and it pisses me off when I hear somebody say we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap when we ain't even have no damn boot to pull ourselves up with anyway, by coming here and being robbed and stripped of all of our patents, all of our ideas, and all the above, right? And so when we look at our current state here, we're in a fight just to primarily be able to survive based off of the thoughts and ideas we put in place to make more than what someone is giving you. We have to put in place a tool or a source, and there's no way in God's green earth that any chicken place or any place exists and we make the best fried chicken, bro.
Yo.
Even if you're making wings out the crib, yo.
Period.
No way that we moved away from the things that got us to where we are today, and we're not listening to our elder statesmen. So if you got somebody in your house north of 55 and you ain't questioning them or you ain't listening to them, yo, it's a wrap. Forget about where you exist in this world and in America because you're not listening to information.
Right.
You relying on Lil Durk to get you out of your situation. Bro, Megan, you out of your situation? Yo, it's no way. You're not telling me today, right now.
Not only that, Coach.
You're not telling me today that the state that we are in is not merely based off of what we're allowing in our diet, yo, and what we are pushing away from, which we should be pushing more to.
Right.
People that exist in our families that went through something, we think they ain't gonna have nothing because they ain't got the latest this and they ain't got jury or they ain't this, that, and the other. Nah, you listen to those folks because guess what? They have some information. Information changes situations, yo. I'm telling you, first and foremost. So our state here in America, yo, is dismal, yo. Yeah, listen. Yo, they get ready to open up the floodgates. So there's gonna be people coming in already in a business already with a Dunkin' Donuts in the hardest, roughest part of the hood. But guess what? In the midst of them opening up that business, they're also guaranteed that 20 people can come over here on a full-time visa and stay here, and then also at a certain point go out and get Section 8, go out and get welfare, SNAP, all of that. And meanwhile, here we are once again, the finish line has been moved. And so we got work to do. We're brilliant people.
So that brings me up right into the next question. You said we got work to do. So what are some outlying things that you believe as a community as a community that we need to do to move forward?
So we got to begin to start asking those questions, yo. We got to start asking those hardline questions.
The conversations have to happen.
Yeah, what? Yo, listen. I understand. And here, and I want to be clear on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we want to move forward to get to that level, right? We want to be able to come together as a community, right? So we know for a fact everybody is not on board with that because
we're coming together.
About coming together, everyone.
I think everybody is. I think we just don't know how to. There's things, yeah.
So now you're leading me into something that I was going into. So now here's where it gets really dope and fascinating, right? So
hold on. You spoke earlier about the importance of being at your best self, and the reason is the fact that most people feel like, yeah, man, I don't got time to be putting towards this vision when I'm still trying to figure out my best self. And that's why I said people don't know how to. And the thing is, we could be waiting years to arrive at our best self, while but not connecting the fact that us improving our community could be the key to us arriving at our best self.
Yeah. So here's another cool thing that we should take note of. You ready for this? Here's another really, really, really cool thing. Right. Unbeknownst to reality, yo, that quiet is kept since we stopped going in them fields and working. Right? America don't have no room for us. They don't have no space for us no more, bro. I'm sorry. We ain't going out in the fields working. We're not doing that. We're not lazy or shiftless, but there's certain things that we're not doing no more. So as a result, this is the opportune time for you to be able to say that you gotta do for self. Ain't nobody coming with no cape. Ain't nobody coming through our neighborhood with opportunities. If we don't build up enough courage to begin to have these conversations amongst each other, to ask and to be able to, stop the frivolous spending and the crab legs and the nails and all that's getting done. And it's some things we gonna have to sacrifice on, that we're gonna have to really sacrifice on. One thing that can help you change your circumstances is listening. So imagine if you don't want to listen and God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You don't want to listen.
So
you would hear, but you won't act.
So you're saying we need to come together and we need to listen to each other more.
Yeah, because that's when you get to learn people. folks would tell you something if you gave them an opportunity to somewhat be an involuntary therapist to a person. Ask a question, you sit back and listen for 20 minutes. And like you're doing, you're able to ask the questions, the right ones, to get me to stir up enough to share with you. And you're sitting back and you're learning. And later on, you'll be able to say, you know what, boom. Because now you're beginning to see if you're not doing this, we're not doing this with our own kids. We're not even hearing them out. How you not hearing these kids out? And they're in a tech generation, yo. And everybody that's winning right now is damn near in tech. Look at Clubhouse. Bro, 7 months. They're a $12 million investment. Yo, they getting ready to go public for $1 billion, bro. In 7 months.
That's sick.
Yo, we would have named that joint the Club. I know the investors would have been like, nah, this is some old ghetto hood joint. My man said, let me throw Clubhouse on it, right? Did that, yo, because guess what? He believed, yo. What happened January 6th, right? Those people know that they was dead wrong and did it at the Capitol House, but they believed in something, yo.
Yes.
Yo, what are we going to believe in? Yo, we got to believe that we can pull ourselves out of this. We got to believe that we can start businesses. We got to believe that we the best, yo, we the best babysitters out. Just think of all those years we had our mothers had their black breasts in these white mouths for all these years and emptied out all of their bodily fluids that they was blessed with by God in their mouths, and then went home and they have nothing for their own kids, yo. Come on, man. This is the world, yo.
So from that, I took, you know, come together, listen, and we got to believe. So now I'm bringing it down to individuals. Yeah, right. Yeah. As now that first question is a two-part question. It said, what do we need to do as a community to move forward? And now I'm asking, what do we do as individuals to contribute to that community? You know, again, you said as a community, we need to come together. We need to listen to one another. We need to believe in the community. Now, as individuals and people, I want people to really get the vast difference of this too. As individuals, how do you contribute to making that community happen?
So let me just see. It's funny, man. When we talk about our plight, my wife and I always have this favorite saying. I say, I know what's going on at my address. Like, I know what's going on at my address, right? So when you believe enough, right, and you know, it's almost like getting sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And so for me individually, right? So the beauty of, and this is what I love the business that I was able to create. So let's just say, for me, I start with a partner of mine, a business that I can now hire my kids post high school. Yeah. So now I get a chance to continue my journey while looking over when we're going to a job, or looking when they pull up in their car and jump out in their uniforms that I provided for them, because of my individual thought to go and let me go back and rescue some kids or some people from my community that I can now help. And that the flyest thing is to be able to see those kids now be able to. So one of the greatest things is hiring our young folks, and this is me individually, this is my partner individually, hiring out some family, but the majority of my people that I brought onto the team was all former students of mine. Yeah. Right? And so individually, I'm reaching out for those kids or those young folks who are now saying to themselves that, yo, I understood what you was talking about by making sure that you're not just for community and just for self, but you also got a vision that pulls a lot of other people with it.
So necessary.
Right? So for instance, So one of my students, right? I just hired his firm. So his firm is so dope because here he is. He worked for I don't even know if I'm able to say it, right? But he works for one of the top, probably the top 20 firms in the airline industry, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now he also does what I think is the coolest thing is if I come to you and say, yo, I want to purchase an airline, right? I want to purchase my own personal plane, right? But in order for you to do that, you just can't purchase what we got in our fleet because what we got in our fleet is all custom for everyone else. So now this individual comes to you and says, well, I have to come to you and create a story by talking to you to find out what's going to be in this jet.
Mm.
So that individual, he's doing that for those conglomerates. Yo, I'm hiring you to do that for my business.
Yo, that's lit.
Now I'm getting a top Fortune 500 information for my company. One thing you have not seen yet is a video, but when you hear this kid's vision, this young man's vision, and what he's asking for and what he needs individually, you're hired.
Yo.
I had a chance to vet you in high school when you could have been at your worst.
Yeah.
But at that time, you was fighting to be at your best.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, so we're going back there. Individually is fine. As a community and as a group is fine too. But then at the same time, you ask the question. So what are you doing to better and enhance your community? And there's either one of us, I just got word that somebody in my family wasn't feeling too well. And they was cutting doing snow yesterday and hurt themselves, right? So the dope thing about that is now they get a chance to go hire someone else, whether it's from their community, from their own family, to come through and do. And that puts you in a business, in a position to have a business to automatically start hiring folks in your own community. And so I say all that to say, and I hope that I was pretty much on point with knowing that, we have to create and then we help. But you're not going to be able to help or create anything if you ain't in your right state of mind. And then your business of caring for individuals. So your question is spot on. So we have to help. We have to, give back. We have to believe in our community. And I think, too, another thing that's important is that, when we talk about time, right? So there's a thing that I always say, that there's a 4-letter word. And if I asked you, GODsent, if you care for someone, what would that 4-letter word be to you?
Love.
Love. And so if I told you once again, we had a crazy scenario when I talked about men being pregnant earlier, right? Then I'm also getting ready to tell you that that's the wrong answer.
No.
Right? And so the answer to that 4-letter word is time. T-I-M-E. Time, right? And so because guess what, GODsent? I could tell you, or you could tell your kid till you blue in the face how much you love them, right? But if you don't spend that time with them, then you got a strange way of showing your love, right? And so, it's time that's important. So we got to spend time with our community, time with our people, time with individuals. And also, you got to learn something in the business to make sure your business is right legally.
Yeah.
So you really, truly help someone. This ain't no hood business. Where, you going to come get down with me. I'm going to pay you this on the side. I'm writing you a check, yo. Oh, you don't have an account? Oh, I'm taking you to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't know how to separate your funds? Then I'm going to help you separate your funds. I'm going to show you how I'm paying you up front, but you're going to have to put some money away for taxes.
Yeah.
So I'm paying you this much to be going that way into an account or into a sneaker box or something. So when the tax time comes, you don't have a heavy burden on what you're going to have to pay out, because you're going to have to pay.
Like a paid internship. That is just dope.
No, and you working. And guess what? You walking in these mansions. We did a huge mansion, right? The guy got a 5,000 square foot house. Yo, a lot of our kids was the two youth that we bought. Yo, they was in the house talking about they got like 4 pair of Uggs over there. They worrying about the
Yeah.
liability opposed to the asset.
Exactly.
That the fact that the client that we went to, the street that we went to was their last name. So imagine you live on a block and the name of the street is your last name because your father and had this whole community that he bought the land for, then sold it to developers years later, and now they got nothing but $2 or $3 million home surrounding them. And how I was able to get that was from a relationship from the guy next door who said, yo, I like the fact that you're doing your cameras and you hired the young folks. Yo, let me hook you up with my guy. And what happened, we end up going up there and mass surveillance to his house. We got some more stuff to do. And this guy is over a huge, he's the reason why most of the kids eat in 2 of our 9 counties. He got the complete contract to feeding all our students.
So, Coach, I definitely appreciate. We're coming up to our time right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Real quick, I just for those that are watching, if they definitely want to connect with you, share your Instagram page, your Facebook, whatever else that you have a website. Let us know where we can find you for those that want to continue building this connection with you as well.
So I have this here. This is the company right here, Zero Blind Spots.
Mm-hmm.
The website is right there, www.zeroblindspots.com. Here's the phone number, right? And that's for the business end. This is everything that we do and more, right? So you see it sitting right there. It's in the picture. You can go back or what have you, right? But also you can reach me on Instagram at The Real Coach C. That's TheReal Coach COACHC, right? At The Real Coach C. Then you can reach me at on Facebook at Clarence Coach C. Sorry about that.
There you go.
Hold on. Yeah, you see me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see you.
All right, cool. Yeah, because I don't see you guys no more, but it's cool. So at Clarence, CLARENCE, middle name Coach C, one word, Collins, COLLINS. And we can definitely link. You'll see the direction of life that I'm going in just based off of what I post. And you can definitely see that there's a high level of care there, but there's also information, and I love making people think. You know, you can think your way to the top, man. I'm telling you, you can. There's no way. There's no way that we are. I'm not, after this pandemic and how this thing has set us up for, that you have to win working together.
Yep.
You have to win asking questions.
Exactly.
Because you're gonna start to see a lot of things take place where you have not seen before, and it's people coming together to make things happen. And here we are, I'm back. And you're gonna see things happening where you're gonna say, I can't believe that there was 3 blacks behind that movement.
Yo, for real.
Yo, you're gonna, and it's gonna have to come a point too where you get to a point where somebody just told me the other day, you're gonna have to get to a point where you're gonna have to hire somebody right to go in to get you lower interest rates, to get you some of the things you need, but it's gonna be in your name, but you're gonna have to hire them in order to get lower rates and all that stuff, and also to get the things you need. So that was kind of mind blowing the other day. But this thing is real, man. This thing is real.
So I definitely, we got to wrap it up. It's 2 minutes after 2 now. I really want to say thank you for taking your time out to definitely impart the information that you did on us. Hopefully we'll definitely able to connect to do more things like this.
Absolutely.
Or even bigger. Who knows? We got some ideas that was thrown on the table that we might need to follow up on. So definitely stay tuned for that. Thank you for definitely coming through. We appreciate you. You know, we gotta me and Piffy gotta wrap things up here real quick.
Yep, yep.
But again, thank you for thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll be connecting with you just a little bit later. All right.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
Love
you
you
so
both.
much
Peace.
for your time. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy man.
I know.
Yeah. Enjoy your weekend.
So again, there you have it, Coach C. Just sharing a lot of information with us. You guys still have his information right there on the screen at the real Coach C. He said website zeroblindspots.com. You know, this has been really great. Thank you for everybody that joined us, that's been rocking with us. Piffy, you know, pretty much love this comment right here. You know,
right. Yeah, I'm gonna gas. All right.
But definitely, you know, we hope that you guys were able to get something from this conversation. That we all grew a little bit from this.
Yes, I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, and for those that may not know, you know, Operation CryOut, I would talk about it everywhere that we go, everything that we're doing. Operation CryOut is still going on. For those that don't know what Operation CryOut is, CryOut is working on getting his own, what's the name, ownership, owning our own venue. Pretty much we're in the search for that. We're working towards that. You could get more information at givebutter.com/operation cryout. Givebutter.com. I'm trying to talk and type at the same time.
Link is also in our bio as well. If you have us on Instagram, link is in my bio. Link is in CryOut Cave's bio. If you guys know how to reach us if you ever are interested in donations. Like I always say, I feel like $1, $2, $5, $10, 10 cents.
What's really great is the fact that you can do a monthly recurring payment. Let's say you like, you know, I only got like a $5. You could do a monthly $5 payment throughout the whole time, you know, or you could do one large lump sum, whichever one helps. But go read into the cause, as well as we have other events that we're doing. We have other things that we're doing. Follow us at CryOut Cave. Follow Piffy at
I know I was talking to my dog. My bad.
I said follow Piffy at
_PIFFY on Instagram.
All right, and you can follow me. It's right there on my screen at Real GODsent. Again, thank you for joining us. You know, and we'll be back next week for another one of this with Baba Zaid, who's an activist and a member of People of Organization for Progress in Newark. So who's done some really amazing things. So we're looking forward to having that conversation. Join us again next week for Art and Black discussions with GODsent and Piffy.
Piffy.
Y'all have a good one.